So in this session, we are going to see how object can be passed as an argument. Normally, primitive data types we will be passing as an argument. Now, how do we pass objects as an argument? And then how object can be passed both for method and also constructor. So two examples we are going to see for passing our objects as an argument. And after that, how do we return the objects? And what is the effect of call by value and call by reference here in Java? Already I've told that Java don't have pointer concept. So what is call by reference here? And then if time permits, we shall see recursion concept also. Okay, recursion is not new to you. You might have studied in C programming itself, but in Java, how it can be done. So that we shall see. So first we shall focus on how do we pass objects as arguments. So for that, so I'm taking this circle. Okay, so one class I have created for this circle as a class. So circle class is having one class variable, not class variable, instance variable, double radius. Okay, only one variable it is having. So inside the default constructor, I am assigning radius value to one default value 1. And one more constructor I am creating that will take value from the caller. Okay, from main we are calling this means from main we have to pass values for this. So circle double R. So this value will be assigned for radius. Now two constructors and then yes. One more constructor I am creating. As I told, another object can also be passed as a parameter. So here for the first constructor there is no argument. For the second constructor only one argument, that is double. And for the third constructor I am passing the circle object itself. Circle object, C object. And this circle object will have its own radius value. So that I am assigning here. That value is used to assign value for this radius. So to distinguish, I am giving this dot radius is equal to COBJ dot radius. COBJ dot radius is what value is passed as an argument here for this constructor. Okay, so this is an example of passing object as an argument. So circle object itself is passed and that value I am assigning to the current instance variable. This dot radius equal to COBJ dot radius. So this is not at all required here. We can skip that because already here it is COBJ dot radius. By giving that, it automatically understands this is this dot radius. Okay, or to get our own clarity, we can give this also. This dot radius is equal to COBJ dot radius. Okay, so now in three ways we are assigning value for this instance variable radius. Okay, one is using a default value without taking any argument, and the other is one double primitive data type value, and the third way is passing another object to assign value for this instance variable. So this is the example of passing object as an argument. Okay, so now it is done means now we shall calculate area. So I am calculating area for this void area. Already radius value is there. Simply I need to calculate it and print it. So directly I am printing system dot out dot println area of So at any point you have some doubt means immediately you can tell me. Okay, so I am thinking that you are following and I am continuing. So if you couldn't follow, then you can stop. Area of circle. So area of circle is, it should be what? Radius value will be there. If this constructor is called, radius value will be 1. If this constructor is called, then radius value will be r. And if this constructor is called, and radius value will be value of radius in the passed object. Okay, somehow radius value is available. Now simply I can calculate math.phi into radius star radius. So this result will be printed in area. So now for this class, one instance variable, 3 different constructors, one method we have created. Now we can write the main part, main program, main method. So inside that, so I have created, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 objects I have created, one for each type, okay, and one extra. Okay, that is just for comparison. So first is for default constructor. Second one I am using for passing a double value. Okay, so some double value I am passing, like a simple value we shall pass. Okay, 2.2. Okay, so this will invoke the second constructor, and for the third I am using COBJ2. Okay, already 2 is created, and COBJ3 is also COBJ2. Okay, now COBJ4 is, I am giving a different value, 3.3. Okay, so 4 objects we have created for circle, 4 different radius values are now available. Now I can try printing circle object 1 dot area. So this will print first constructor radius and its corresponding area. And next I am passing circle is undefined. Circle, oh, so by mistake it was deleted. Okay, now I replaced. So now COBJ2 dot area. What we have created through the second constructor. Now circle object 3 dot area. Third one. Now C object 4 dot area. So now all these are created. COBJ. So this line I am commenting will be used afterwards. Okay. So now this program is almost complete. Circle class, one instance variable, 3 different constructors, one method, and in 4 ways I have created object. For all the 4, I am calling area method. Okay. So now let me run this program. Yes. So area of circle with 1. So 1 into 1 into 3.14 is 3.14 itself. And for the next, I have passed 2.2 into 3.14. So 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3, almost around this. Okay. And again, for the third object, same value I am passing through another object. And for the fourth one, I passed 3.3. So that has been giving this result. Okay. So now in this example, we have learned how do we pass object as a parameter. Okay. So here I'll be passing another object, and to write here I should give the class name and object. So this parameters type will be the class name itself. So this is a good example for passing object as a parameter for constructor. Now, the same object can be passed also for methods also. So for that I am introducing another method. That method is check equal. Okay, check equal method. So this check equal method takes another object and checks the incoming object and the invoking object, that is existing object, who is calling this method. So both are equal or both are having same values. Okay, so in that perspective, I am creating this method. So for this also, object is to be passed as an argument. So circle COBJ. So inside that, I am writing code for checking whether both are equal or not. Or I can return Boolean. Okay, directly I can print what is the result, or I can return the result true or false back to the main program. Okay, both can be done. In any way we can write. So now I am writing not here. As a return type, I am making it as Boolean. Boolean check equal, and it takes one object, circle object. And here it should return, it should compare both and returns, it should return the value. Okay, so how it will return? I can check it first. If this dot radius is equal to C object dot radius. If this dot radius is equal to C object dot radius, in that case, I am returning true. Okay, or directly I can give this return value. That also possible. For better understanding, I just changed my mind to include you. Okay, so this will give you more clarity. Okay, so earlier I wanted to directly return, so that may confuse you. So now I am giving like this. Okay, that statement also I'll show. First I'll show this. Return. Okay. If this dot radius equal to C object dot radius, both the objects are having same radius value. Okay. In that case, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So this is check equal function method. This is taking object as a parameter. Now, inside the program, now I am giving system.out.println first object equal to second object. For that, how should I call? C object 1 dot check equal. Check equal of C object 2. Okay. First two objects are equal or not. So you can guess whether first two objects are equal. Both are having same radius value. No. First one is 1, a default constructor, so it will be assigned with the value 1. And second one is 2.2. Okay, so it returns false, obviously. What is the error? Println. Which error? So I have given comma here. It should be plus. So now I am copying this to reuse. Next I am comparing second object and third object. So obviously this will be true because third object is a copy constructor of second one. So now I am checking second object is equal with third object. And one more time I am checking object 3 and 4 In any combination we can check. Okay, 3 and 4 are not at all equal. Okay, so we can include all combination means I may have to give some more system dot out dot println. So few combinations we should check. 3, 4. Okay, just for some sample execution. So in 3 ways I have combined 1 and 2, 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. Okay, so now we know that for the second one it should come as true and for the remaining it should come as false. So now we compare the original result with our own expected result. Yes, yes, it is coming as expected. Object 1 and 2 are not equal, so it tells false. 2 and 3 are true, both are equal. 3 and 4, both are not equal, so false. So the result is coming as expected. Okay. So now in this example, we have seen how do we pass our objects as arguments. Passing objects as arguments. So I hope you are getting a clear idea on this. Okay. For this, both ways. For constructors and for methods. For both, we can pass objects as arguments. Okay. Both the example are in the same program. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt in this, understanding how do we pass object as argument, you can tell me. Now our next thing is returning objects. Okay, how do we return objects? So for returning objects, we shall take increment by 10. So that value we shall take. I am creating a class for that. Next, I am taking a class like shape 2. Okay, already shape is there. So I am creating shape 2 or shape 3. I am going with shape 3. Okay. So inside this shape 3, I am creating only one dimension. Int dimension. This is the only instance variable and the default constructor shape 3. For this, I am assigning dimension is equal to 1. Okay. Now, the idea is incrementing dimension. Here it is. Dimension. Okay. Spelling was wrong. Okay. So, dimension is assigned and then another constructor shape 3. For this, I am passing one value int d, and for this, dimension is equal to d. So two constructors, and after that, I am creating a method. This method should return the object. Okay. So now we are seeing example for returning objects. So for this, we have only one possibility. For passing object as argument, we have two choices, for constructors and for methods. But here we have only one choice. Can you guess why? For methods only. Can anyone guess why? Returning objects for methods only. Nobody could guess? So now this method is increment by 10. So why we cannot return object for constructor means for constructor we should not have any return type. So for that we cannot return any object. Okay. So it is applicable only for method. So I am creating a method increment by 10. So whatever dimension is available, simply this method tries to increment that with 10. That is the idea of this method. Okay. So inside that, I am creating an object for shape 3 because that I am going to return. So what I am doing, return new shape 3 of some value we can pass because we have two constructors. Either I can give empty constructor or some value. So for example, I am passing 2 means this constructor is taken. Okay, dimension value is so what I am doing, it should increment the value. Whatever I am passing should be incremented by 10. So I am giving 2 plus 10. Okay, 2 plus 10. So 2 is the value that I wanted to give, or so in the one line I can pass 2 and then I can increment likewise. So in that way also we can do. Okay, increment by 10, or I can give like what is already available in dimension. Dimension in different ways we could give. Okay, so dimension plus 10. So this increment by 10 is called means already available dimension is incremented by 10. Okay. So likewise, we can return this value. So this object itself I am returning. Okay. So now here inside main, I can create object for this shape 3 class. Shape 3 S1 equal to new shape 3. So first constructor I am calling and I am giving increment by 10 means what happens. So first system dot out dot println. Okay. Now I am printing dimension now I am giving S1 dot dimension. S1 dot dimension. Okay. So instance variable can be accessed through the object. Okay. S1 dot, oh here I should give 3. Okay. So S1 dot dimension is printed. Now I am calling the increment by 10. S1 dot increment by 10. So now this is called. After that I am printing. It will return another return one object. Okay. So for that I should give shape 3 S2 is equal to S1 dot increment by 10. So now S2 will have plus 10 extra. Okay. Dimension value plus 10 extra. So now dimension of first object, and here I am printing dimension of second object. Okay, any example we can take. Just I am trying to take a very simple example to explain how do we return objects. Okay, so now this increment by 10 return an object, and that I am directly storing into S2. Okay, instead of creating it with new. So now we shall try running this. Yes. So dimension of first object is 1. Dimension of second spelling mistake. Second object is 11. Okay. Now first constructor is used. Now I am trying to use the second constructor. Okay. So now this is S3. For this I am trying to pass a value 5. Okay. So now this time if I call increment by 10. I am giving here like dimension of third object. Third object is S3 dot dimension. Now I am creating another object. I am taking the same line. Okay. Fourth object. I am creating fourth object. For that, S3 dot increment by 10. So from S3, I want to increment by 10. So now I am printing here as fourth object. Fourth object is S4 dot dimension. Okay, this is. So now, so almost all are utilized. Now I am running this. Yes, you could see here. Dimension of first object is 1, second object is 11, third object is 5, fourth object is 15. Okay, so this is one simple example to show how do we return object, okay, for any method. So we cannot return object for constructor because constructors should not have any return type. By default, the constructor is returning an object. Implicitly, it is actually returning an object. So that point I am coming now. So with this example, we have seen how do we return objects for methods. Okay. So I hope you got some idea how to return. So here I am giving return type as class name means how to give it here. Okay. Or named object also we can give like shape 3 S5 equal to new shape 3 something. Then S3 I can return S3. That also correct. Okay. So next concept is call by value and call by reference. So in the same example, we shall try seeing that. So you could see, okay. So this example we shall. Okay. So this is another example, square class. For that only one instance variable I have taken inside. One constructor I have created default constructor. For that side value is assigned with 1. Okay. And okay. So I have one method, enlarge method. In that one integer variable is passed. Okay. So this enlarge is called means up to this value I can enlarge the side. Okay. Now what I am doing, so first enlarge is called means I am assigning side equal to yes. Then I am calculating area. System dot println area is equal to side into side. Okay, area equal to side into side. Now side equal to yes plus yes. Okay, or now I am changing the value of yes. Yes plus equal to yes. Okay, yes plus equal to yes means yes plus yes. That is the meaning. Yes plus yes. Again stored it in stored the value in yes. Now side equal to the new value of yes. Now I am printing what is the enlarged area. Okay, so this I am printing enlarged area. So enlarged area will be the new value of side. That is initially side value is 2 means now 2 plus 2, 4. So 4 into 4 that will be printed as an area. Okay, now. So this is the idea of this enlarge. And in main method, I am creating object for the square class and I am getting input. Enter the side of the square. I am getting input and I am calling S1 dot enlarge of side. So side will be passed here. So for example, if I am giving input 2, first time 2 is assigned to side, then 2 into 2. 4 is the area and enlarged area will be 4 into 4, 16. Okay, now I am running this. Enter the side of square. I am giving 2. Now it is telling area equal to 4, enlarged area equal to 16. Okay, now inside main, I am trying to print this side value. System.out.println side value before enlarge method call. Okay, side value before enlarge method call. Now I am giving side. Okay, now the same side value I am printing after the enlarge call. Okay, side value after enlarge call. So first I am printing side value and then enlarge is called. Then inside enlarge what I am doing, this S value is changed, isn't it? S value is changed, or I can, for better clarity, we can use S itself here. Okay, the side value before enlarge method is called value of S. Okay, so whenever normal method is called with a primitive data type as an argument, a copy of this value is passed to the method. So this is called by value. So I am changing S value here, that will not reflect here. Okay, now I am running this. Enter the side of square, I am passing 2. So it is printing side value before enlarge method called 2. Then it is printing area 4, enlarged area 4. Side value after enlarge method called 2. Both are 2. So no change, isn't it? But inside side value changed. Okay, inside the method. So I am printing the same inside. System.out.println. So this one I am printing here. Side value inside enlarge method. Inside enlarge method. Okay, so here you could see, enter the side of the square 2. Side value before 2. Inside enlarge method 4. But after enlarge method in main 2. Okay, so it is not reflected back. So this is the effect of call by value. Now, instead of passing this as a normal data type, if I am passing it as an object, square, yes. Okay, square, yes. So now what I could do, S is an object or square SOBJ. Okay, for better clarity. Square SOBJ. So SOBJ dot side. Okay, this dot side equal to SOBJ dot side. So now what I could do, area and here SOBJ dot side plus equal to SOBJ dot side. Okay, so now I am assigning SOBJ. Side equal to SOBJ dot side. And here I am printing SOBJ dot side. Okay. And here also I am changing accordingly. So value is taken. Okay. So this value I am passing as a parameter for this constructor. Okay. Corresponding constructor is not there. So what I am doing here, S1 dot side is equal to the given value. What is inputted? Or S1 dot side is equal to SC dot next int. Okay, directly I am assigning for that number. S1 dot side equal to SC dot next int. Okay, now here S1 dot OBJ, not OBJ, side. S1 dot side And here s1 dot side. S1 dot side is the value what I am passing. Instead of normal primitive type, I am passing object. Okay, the object value itself I am passing. Let me pass S1. S1 itself I am passing. The object itself I am passing. Okay, and here also I am trying to print S1 dot side. So now the same object S1 assigned value here, and that is printed before calling enlarge, and enlarge is called, and after calling enlarge also I am printing it. So now we could see the difference now. Enter the side of the square. Same value I am giving. Side value before enlarge method call 2. Side value inside enlarge method 4. Side value after enlarge method 4. So it is changed. In the main also it is changed, because when we pass argument as an object, that is called by reference. Espa? Somebody unmuted. Who is that? Gunashekar? Gunashekar? What happened? We also can enjoy with the kid's speech. Okay. So this is the effect of call by value and call by reference. Okay. So if you have sent your roll number in the chat box,